This video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Gamers, look at us, here today to talk about gaming news. Who'd have thought? Not me. Hope you've had a fantastic week, hope you've been playing some great games, hope you've gotten outside, since I'm not allowed to do that for the next 2 weeks where I am, so I have to live vicariously through the rest of you. Thanks, COVID. Anyway, with all this free time on my hands, I've got plenty of time to read gaming news. Here's the best stuff I read this week. E3 wrapped up nearly 2 weeks ago, god time flies, and this week GameStop released a list of the top 10 most pre-ordered games during and immediately after the show, and this list makes me really sad. Nintendo absolutely dominated the top 5 spots on the list. Sure, it's great to see Metroid Dread at number 1, and maybe even Mario Golf and Mario Party Superstars, but do Skyward Sword and Pokemon Diamond Pearl remakes really belong in the top 5? Guardians of the Galaxy came in at number 6, Far Cry 6 came in at number 7, and Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance was the 8th most pre-ordered game of E3. Do you know how bad that game was? Bottoming out the list was Madden 22 at number 9, a game that's sure to be basically the same as last year's Madden. And to cap it all off, the 10th most pre-ordered game after E3 2021 was Pokemon Legends Arceus, if that's how you say it. A game that wasn't even shown at E3 2021, and the first time we saw it, it looked awful. Do you see now why this list made me so sad? Speaking of Pokemon, you might remember that back in 2019 we had something called the Dexit Saga, where leakers obtained and published a list of Pokemon that would appear in Sword and Shield, and a lot of people were mad that their favorite Pokemon was missing and it all got very messy. Well, the Pokemon company wasn't too happy about that leak, and they worked their asses off to try and track down the people responsible, going so far as to subpoena members of the Discord where the leaks originated. Gotta catch 'em all, eh? Zing! Okay, let's move on. Anyway, they found the people responsible and captured them in a Pokeball of litigation that only concluded this week. The defendants are required to pay the Pokemon company $150,000 in damages and legal costs, which are likely to be at least another couple of $100,000. Turns out one of the guys worked at a company that printed strategy guides, and he shared a printout of the guide with his buddy who posted it online for some internet points. Those were some expensive points, my friend. Best of luck with the repayments. If you've been following the Blue Box conspiracy featuring the totally real studio Blue Box, led by unquestionably real-life human Hassan, making the definitely not bait-and-switch video game Abandoned, then good, Kojima's plan is working perfectly. No, for real, I feel bad for these guys at this point. They put out one tweet which flirted a little too close to people's hopes and dreams, and when they tried to clarify it, they got pulled further and further into the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. This week, Hassan released a video where he looked really stressed the fuck out, saying that the reveal trailer for the game has been delayed from June to sometime in August. I mean, yeah, I'd be feeling nervous too, since if your game isn't anything less than incredible straight out of the gate, there are going to be a lot of angry people ready to vent some pent-up rage that really ought to be directed toward Konami. Okay, here's a really interesting story. Recently, a Witcher 3 mod was released called A Night to Remember. Here's some of the trailer.
Oriana? Release him. Now. I'm in a hurry and you're hiding behind a child. So you'll live this time. I'm letting you.
Now what you'll notice is that Geralt is fully voiced here, which for a mod is a really big deal. I mean, how did this modder manage to secure the cooperation of Doug Cockle, and how did they negotiate with CD Projekt Red to clear the legal minefield of making more content for their game with the official voice actor at the helm? Well, turns out the modder didn't do any of those things, because Doug Cockle did not voice Geralt in this mod, at least not in the way you'd expect. Turns out the modder, Nikic340, used a program called CyberVoice, which is AI-driven software that can create new strings of dialogue if you feed it enough old dialogue. So when you hear Geralt saying all these things, it's actually stuff he's already said, just pieced together more seamlessly than most other technology would allow for. This new technology has met with criticism from at least one voice actor. If this is true, this is just heartbreaking, tweeted Jay Britton, a voice actor with credits in Divinity Original Sin 2 and Pathfinder. Yes, AI might be able to reproduce things, but should it? We literally get to decide. Replacing actors with AI is not only a legal minefield, but an utterly soulless choice. I think this is such a complex topic that it would require its own video to properly unpack, and I'm not really here to do that today. I just wanted to share this stuff because it's such an interesting intersection of art and technology and humanity and artificial intelligence and labor rights and more. Video games are art, and the people who make them are artists, and the way technology and art meet is always so fascinating to me. Now that we've been all pensive and reflective, let's get back to hating some video game executives. This week, democracy won the day when shareholders voted to approve Activision CEO Bobby Kotick's $155 million payday. Yes, That is right. When asked, should we give this one human being $155 million for a year's worth of work, 57% of shares voted to support the motion. $155 million is roughly the same as he earned last year. This dude made $300 million in 2 years for what? Call of Duty Mobile, Overwatch loot boxes, merging Vicarious Visions into Blizzard, sacking thousands of staff? Yes, let's not forget that. Literally thousands of Activision Blizzard staff have lost their jobs in the last 2 years, so this guy could make $155 million in a single year. Sure, absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. Executive remuneration does not need reform. Oh, and by the way, all your next-gen Activision games are going to cost $70. You're welcome. If you thought that Bobby was the only fat cat with his head in the trough, you'd of course be sorely mistaken. This week, EA announced that it was making substantial changes to executive pay after 3/4 of shares voted against last year's package, which basically doubled the pay of every senior executive and awarded CEO Andy Wilson a one-time $30 million bonus, which of course was not a one-time, since the year before he'd earned another one-time $15 million bonus. I guess next year we can expect Andy to earn a one-time $60 million bonus. I mean, that's just math. Anyway, all of this is disgusting, and I can't get these numbers out of my head anytime I see a weapon skin for $30 US. Speaking of EA, the rumor mill churned hard this week with the news that EA were working to revive a long-dormant IP, which VentureBeat writer Jeff Grubb claims is Dead Space, is apparently in development by EA Motive, who earlier worked on the excellent Star Wars Squadrons. It's apparently a reimagining of the franchise rather than a direct sequel, and we should see it revealed this month at EA's upcoming EA Play Showcase. Stay tuned. It was a fairly big week for PC gaming, with Microsoft officially unveiling Windows 11, due to hit your machine as a free upgrade toward the back end of the year. Gaming was front and center of the reveal, with a slew of features announced aimed squarely at winning over the gaming market. It's not like we have much of a choice though. I mean, what are we going to do? Install Linux? Please. Coming soon to a Windows machine near you, you can expect Auto HDR, which is sort of like fake HDR that can be pretty good depending on the game and circumstances. The most exciting upgrade is Direct Storage. It's a big deal since it will bring the lightning fast load times of next-gen consoles to PCs. God, that really sounds weird to say aloud. Rather unexpectedly, Windows 11 will also bring Android apps to Windows. You'll be able to download them from the Amazon App Store via the Windows Store, so that already sounds like a disaster, but yeah, you'll be able to use phone apps on your PC now. So the dude who asked if Diablo Immortal will eventually be coming to PC, the answer is yes. Sort of. And finally, it's been a while since we've had an Avengers roast on the show, but this week's roast is particularly chef's kiss. This week, Crystal Dynamics rolled out an update for the game that was meant to introduce a new boss and seasonal event, but that wasn't all that shipped. Turns out the patch had a bug that would display your gamer tag, the date and time, and your personal IP address, and this watermark text would bounce around the screen while you played. This watermark is commonly used during alpha tests to avoid gameplay being leaked, but here it was in a live game. If you streamed Marvel's Avengers during this period, you're essentially doxing yourself. The good news though is that no streamers were affected by this bug because nobody streams Marvel's Avengers. Nobody. So, what got announced or delayed this week? Well, surprise, everyone's favorite pachinko manufacturer is back to take another swing at the core gaming market. This week, Konami announced Crime Site, something they're calling a PvP mystery simulation game. From the looks of it, a bunch of players get dropped into a procedurally generated cabin and they need to find out who the murderer is. It's not Among Us though, at least not from the looks of it. It looks much closer to Cluedo, with some narratives spun into each round and some clues here and there, and also a wolf shows up for some reason. No information on platform or release timing, but you can sign up to the beta. Remember though, one sign up to a new Konami game equals one Kojima cry. Aliens Fireteam got a release date this week. It's hitting all platforms but the Switch on the 24th of August. It looks like a schlocky Gears of War meets Aliens co-op shooter set in iconic Aliens locations, and there's nothing about that sentence I don't like. I hope this one delivers, since it's been a long-ass time since Alien Isolation, and we're due for another good Aliens game. Kerbal Space Program is getting a next-gen upgrade toward the end of the year. The upgrade promises 1440p for PS5 and Series X, and 1080p for Series S, but at a higher frame rate for all next-gen platforms. Apparently, this will also see an increase on part counts for player crafts and contraptions, and it's meant to just make things a little bit nicer looking overall. It's going to be a free upgrade to anyone that already owns it on PS4 and Xbox One. The only delay announcement this week wasn't actually from this week, it was from last week, but I missed it, so we're talking about it now. In a shocking reveal, Larian Studios informed us that Baldur's Gate 3 isn't coming out this year. No one could have seen that coming, except for absolutely everyone. Speaking to GameSpot, the Larian Studios boss said COVID made things much more difficult for them, particularly with regards to mocap and voice acting, and they're now targeting a 2022 release, but even that's not confirmed. Quote, "We're aiming for it, that's no guarantee, but we're definitely aiming for it," end quote. Take all the time you need, Larian. We've waited 21 years for a Baldur's Gate sequel. We can wait a few more. So, what came out last week? Well, Ender Lilies arrived on both PC and Switch. It's coming to other platforms later, and the acclaim for it has been pretty universal. It's currently sitting at 91% positive on Steam and an 87 critic score on Metacritic. But to be fair, there aren't too many critic scores out yet. PC Invasion scored at an 85, saying, quote, "Ender Lilies, Quietus of the Nights does have a few issues. Overall, though, it more than delivers thanks to vibrant visuals, top-notch Metroidvania platforming, and challenging Souls-like combat." With how positive this fan reception has been, it feels like this one is definitely slipping under the radar at the moment. Hopefully it gets a bit more press when it releases on Xbox and PS4 on July 6th. Mario Golf Super Rush released this week on Switch, and it isn't getting the sort of glowing reception that Nintendo titles are used to. It's sitting at a 75 critic score and a 6.6 user score on Metacritic. Game Informer scored at an 83, saying, quote, "Despite the underwhelming nature of the story mode, Mario Golf Super Rush delivers plenty of golfing greatness," while IGN was less than enthused, scoring at a 60 and saying, quote, "Speed Golf is a fun addition, but a poor adventure mode, a slight selection of courses, and low replayability results in Mario Golf Super Rush being an underwhelming entry into the series." So, what's coming out this week? Well, absolutely nothing. Holy shit, I don't think I've ever seen a week this barren. Good time to catch up on backlogs, I guess, or perhaps revisit some older titles that are getting some next-gen upgrades, because at least we're getting a few of those this week. First up, Doom Eternal arrives on Xbox Series consoles and PS5. The update adds improved visuals, increased performance, and support for ray tracing if you're playing at lower resolutions, and it also adds a 4K 60 FPS mode if that's your poison, and finally, if you have a TV that can handle it, there's also a 120 FPS mode as well. If you haven't checked out the Ancient Gods DLC they served up, this might be a very good excuse to do so. I'll leave a link to my Doom Eternal review in the description below so we can all relive the joy of the entire internet roasting me for my Marauders take. The other game getting a next-gen update today is GREEDFALL. Now this is a funny one. It's a cinematic RPG in the same vein as BioWare games, and it won a lot of people over through its sheer earnestness and the fact that there aren't many games like this these days. I personally did not love it, since I thought it well and truly wore out its welcome after the first 10 or so hours, but perhaps you might enjoy it more, especially since the next-gen update enables 4K 60 FPS. There's also a new expansion arriving today called the Devespi Conspiracy, which is a new narrative arc that includes new locations, enemies, and gear. As much as I didn't enjoy this game, it's great to see that it's found an audience. Hopefully we'll see a sequel that irons out many of the game's issues. I'll leave a link to my review below. Finally, Doki Literature Club Plus arrives today. I have not played Doki Doki, and is it Doki Doki or Doki Doki? I don't know. Okie dokie. Let's just keep going. It always has been fascinating to me that this game has been tagged on Steam as a psychological horror when all the screenshots I see look like this. Is it horror like asking your crush out on a date is really scary? Or does it get like real horror, like tentacles start appearing when you get to third base or something? I don't know. Maybe I'll never know, but if I was to ever find out, it would be with Doki Literature Club Plus, which offers 6 new side stories, 26 new music tracks, and an in-game music player to play them, as well as enhanced visuals across the board. It's hitting all platforms today. Knock yourself out. Put this on your radar.
I was just a strong-shouldered farm girl once. I had long black hair.
Sure, Mom, but what about when
the Gorgons came?
Yeah, and you saved the town.
Well, we fought the Gorgons together.
I typically reserve this section for unreleased indie games, but I'm going to make an exception this week because WILDERMYTH from Worldbreaker Games seems like it deserves a lot more attention than it's getting. WILDERMYTH was an early access title that went live back in 2019, and it just had its 1.0 release on the 16th of June this year, smack bang in the middle of E3 madness, which is always a terrible, terrible time to release your game because no one is talking about anything other than E3. With E3 out of the way, people began turning their attention to WILDERMYTH and have found one of the highest rated releases of the year, currently sitting at 95% positive on Steam with nearly 5,000 reviews counted. It's a party-based, turn-based RPG with procedural storytelling, and it tracks the life of your adventurers from their teeth cutting through to their teeth falling out. either in battle or due to old age. It has a charming art style, deep customization, and it supports local and online co-op play. It's available exclusively on Steam at the moment, but I'm sure we can expect some console releases in the future. Sort of free stuff time, and good news, an item on your wish list is on sale, and by an item, I mean your whole damn wish list. Okay, so this isn't technically sort of free stuff material, but Steam is having another one of its crazy sales at the moment, and some of the stuff is so cheap that it may as well be free. I'm not going to give you a blow-by-blow or even recommendations, since there are too damn many, but suffice it to say, if it's a game you want and it's on Steam, it's probably at least a little bit discounted at the moment. The sale runs until July 8th, so get in before it finishes. Also, technically not free stuff material, but hey, we're breaking all the rules today. 2 demos went up on the Nintendo eShop this week, one for Neo: The World Ends With You, and another for Monster Hunter Stories 2. Now, I haven't touched Neo yet, but I played through the Monster Hunter demo, and goddamn, there was some good shit, and I say that as someone who doesn't really enjoy turn-based JRPGs these days. I really recommend checking it out for yourself if you have a Switch, as it might just convert you as it did me. The game releases on the 9th of July from memory, and I think there's actually going to be a PC demo coming out the same day as the PC release on the 9th of July, so keep an eye out for that. Over on Good Old Games, a platform we don't talk about too much, but they're giving away the entire Shadowrun trilogy for free, no strings attached. It doesn't actually say how long this giveaway runs for. It could literally be over by the time this video goes live, since I always script this stuff at least a day before you see it. So yeah, don't dilly-dally, go check out GOG to see if it's still available and grab it if you can. Game Pass got its monthly refresh, and it's okay, not its strongest showing. You get Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. Limbo is extremely good. Please don't skip that one. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is in there, as is the recently released RTS Iron Harvest, but the pick of the litter has got to be Prodeus, which is a boomer shooter still in early access, but everyone's loving this one. Epic got its weekly refresh. Right now you can grab Arcade Racer Horizon Chase Turbo and Sonic Mania, but on the 2nd of July it'll click over to the Spectrum Retreat, which is a narrative-driven puzzler released back in 2018. It's currently sitting on around 75% positive on Steam. One thing to keep your eye out for is July's batch of PS Plus and Gains with Gold. News on that should spill out over the coming day or two, but it wasn't available at the time of recording. I'll update you guys on that next week. Our feel-good story for the week comes courtesy of Microsoft, or more specifically from Kotaku, who did the heavy lifting for this story. Recently, Microsoft reintroduced their Xbox Design Lab, allowing you to create custom color schemes for your Xbox controllers. That's all well and good until you realize that they also let you add a little 16-character engraving at the bottom. John Walker of Kotaku decided to see just how much rope Uncle Phil would give us, and the answer was, it depends. Sadly, body parts like penis, vagina, and ass are off the list, as are some of our internals, like fallopian tubes. Not sure why you would want to put that on a controller, but okay. Turns out Microsoft has different restrictions on who you can and can't kill. For example, you can't say kill Americans, but if you wanted to kill the English, then you're A-OK. Most damning of all, the Design Lab has clear console war bias. You're not allowed to kill Microsoft or kill Nintendo, but you are allowed to kill Sony? This generation, Phil Spencer has absolutely no chill. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the week in video games. If you've enjoyed yourself, then please drop the video a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. Leave a comment down below with your 16-character Xbox controller engraving, but please, for the love of God, keep it M-rated or lower. I don't want YouTube passing my comment section and banning my channel. Thank you all for watching, and a big thank you to this week's sponsor, Surfshark VPN, who accept us for who we are. Guys, let's be real here. We're nerds. We're cool nerds, but we're nerds nonetheless. We play video games. We know what HDR means, sort of. We watch Loki and Invincible and The Boys and Downton Abbey. Wait, what? How'd that last one get in there? Point is, we live much of our lives online, and that means our data is just hanging out there. Our passwords, our IP address, our personal information. It's all over the World Wide Web, and in 2021, we can't just not think about that. We have to take steps to protect our data. Enter Surfshark VPN, the single best means of protecting your online security. Surfshark VPN encrypts your online data, protecting you from identity thefts and hacks, and their clean web feature automatically blocks over 1 million known malicious websites, phishing methods, and other threats. But if the security aspect doesn't hook you, it also lets you access geo-blocked content, something particularly useful here in Australia since pretty much everything is geo-blocked. With Surfshark VPN, I can just boot it up, select a server location, and immediately begin accessing international streaming content in seconds. You can use Surfshark on multiple devices at once, which is something that almost no other VPN allows. It's available on pretty much every platform you can think of. It has 24/7 customer support, and it has a full 30-day money-back guarantee. Best of all, they're offering an 83% discount and 3 months free when you use offer code SKILLUP at checkout. Click the link in the description below or visit surfshark.deals/skillup. Thanks Surfshark for sponsoring the video, and thank you for watching it. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down so I know to do better for next time. If you enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing, and if you really enjoyed yourself, maybe consider hitting that notification bell so you never miss a video. You can see my patrons here on the left. They're awesome. They're amazing. If you want to join them, check out my Patreon page. Thank you again. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.